What up, folks? This is your boy Dino, aka your solid five. I am one half the Bill crew. Unfortunately, Nick couldn't make it today, but we have a special guest today. We have Logan Riley Bruner. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
For those that watch a lot of stuff like I do, and my buddy, you have done, I mean, lots of things, but one of the outstanding things was number one, Stranger Things, season four,
Yep.
but then also more recently, All You Need Is Blood, which is a horror comedy.
Yeah.
But before we go into those two big things, I wanted to know a little bit more about you. So like, what's your upbringing a
Um,
little
I
bit?
I was born and raised in New York City. Parents were both performers who moved here and then kind of
Mm,
drifted away from the industry, and so they raised me with just a love of the arts. And when I was 10, Rosie O'Donnell's theater company came to my elementary school and did a musical theater workshop, and I like fell in love with performing. And I discovered that you could do playing pretend as a living and as a
yeah.
career. And so I started doing it. I went to middle and high school for acting and started working professionally, and then just kind of followed the path that I could carve out for myself as much as humanly possible.
Right. And so I'm assuming you did a ton of plays, right?
Yes. I started a lot in theater. I worked with a children's theater company called Tada Youth Theater, which we did a bunch of like original musicals. And then I met my manager, Jody Prusan, who I worked with for a really long time, and she kind of introduced me to just like the world of professional theater and
Yeah.
film and TV, and then it was kind of off from there.
So anybody that's theater, I always have to ask this. What's your favorite like disastrous theater story?
Who? I was working on a play at my high school. And I have always been very suspicious of saying Macbeth in a theater. It's always been a very like taboo thing for me. And I was working tech, and one of my co-tech people said Macbeth in the theater. And we were like, oh, okay, that's probably not good, but nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
And then, like an hour later, a water main burst backstage. A giant piece of the set fell. Someone fell off the stage, and one of the actors like ran out on stage because he had seen the whole exchange and like yelled to the back and was like, "Logan, it's happening! You need to fix it!" And so we like did the little like spin around 3 times, like get rid of the ghost Scottish play ritual, and all was well. But that's one of the biggest, like
Uh,
everything is going wrong.
I love it. Actually, we had spoken to an actress from the UK, and similar kind of thing. There's like a well, maybe not similar, but supposedly there's a spirit at one of the theaters, right? And he will like quote, he'll like mess with the stage and like he'll make your night really bad if you don't
Yep.
like acknowledge the ghost. Like, and so finally at the end of the night, they were like, or towards production, they were like, she's like, look, I really need you to like be on board with us. Please, like, blah blah blah. And then she said the rest of the night was just like fine. Like
That's
nothing
awesome.
happened. Yeah, and I was like, you know,
Huh. Interesting.
interesting, yeah. Off mission. So like because I just mentioned spirits, are you a ghost believer?
I think there's too much in this world that we don't understand for me to
Right.
not believe in it. It's one of those things that it's like there's too many things that I can't prove or disprove that I'm just like there's something out there.
Yeah, yeah. Uh so okay, so that was the inspiration with your parents and you got into theater and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And that kind of led you on into Stranger Things. So how was your experience in that? I mean, like, 'cause you came into, you know, an already solid cast for the most part, and obviously you're one of the newer introduced characters and like so how was like the experience like from day one from that?
It was really awesome. I mean, it was a really long process for me because I filmed during the COVID year, so it was like
Oh, okay.
I booked it and then I wasn't filming for like another 9 months, so the
Oh,
process felt really like elongated. But everyone really was wonderful in making me feel right at home. It was a really wonderful crew and cast, and just like they did a fantastic job of making everything super comfortable and knowing that I was like stepping into this well-oiled machine that knew
yeah.
exactly how it was supposed to operate, but that like really respected my artistic vision and the ideas that I had and things that I wanted to try. And it was just super comfortable and super welcoming. It was one of the best TV
I
experiences.
would hope so because it's already like you said, it's already a well-oiled machine, and like
Right.
it's a big production. Like you would think that, yeah, for sure they would already have their stuff together.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. And then I was curious because like Robert Englund was like on an episode or maybe two.
Yeah.
So like were you on set like when he was filming?
I wasn't, sadly. I wish I was. I am a huge Nightmare on Elm
Yeah,
Street
I
person,
would
so
hope so. Yeah.
that would have been such a joy, but I wasn't.
Mm. Yeah, I would do horrible things to get him on the podcast.
Understandable.
Yeah. Uh, and then so like and then towards the end of your run on that show, like how was filming the death scene? Because that seems
Oh, it
so
was
mechanical.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of technicality to it. It's a lot of like the stunt work was super fun, being able to like be on wires and like raising and lowering in the street was such a fascinating thing. And like
Right.
I don't being able to be a part of that process and having like specific moments dedicated to my character, I think was super cool. I feel
Yeah.
like there's a lot of times that I step onto a show and I'm just there for like a moment with another cast member or like something to further the plot. It was kind of one of the first times that I got to have production like focused on the character that I was playing, and to
Yeah.
be kind of the center of all that was really cool to see how everything like rotates to make something like that look that scary and that exciting while like being really safe and really straightforward to work on, and then to see it come to life in such a terrifying way is a really
Yeah.
incredible experience.
Yeah, I was blown away because it was a while since I watched it.
Yeah.
But then I rewatched the especially the last scene that you were in, the last couple scenes you're in, and I was like, wow, just like the amount of technicality and the amount of like CGI and all that stuff that they had
Yeah.
to do, to mangle your body, and then I was just like, that's incredible. You know,
I
obviously
mean,
that took a long time, but
absolutely, but it was really cool. I mean, there's the like the practical on the ground like we're gonna raise and lower you on a road, and then I got to do all the like standing in a tent with 300 cameras around you so that they can
wow,
capture your whole body for animation, and then
yeah,
like getting my body molded so that they could use a body mold of me. Like I feel like I got a little taste of everything, and
yeah.
it was all just so cool. I
How long
love
did how long did that take to film?
That specific sequence took on off like 2 or 3 weeks. It was
Wow,
just like I would get pulled in one day to do like this little bit, and then we'd go
right,
and do this little piece, and then we'd do this little moment, and like the amount that like goes into doing a like 2 minute segment like that, where it's like, okay, and now we've got to film this chunk, and we've got to,
yeah,
oh, and now we've got to be in the grave, and we've got to be over here, and it's
right.
just so many pieces coming together in such a really cool way.
Well, funny thing is like I'm in this contest right now, and we had I had to film a 2-minute video to submit for the contest,
Nice, nice, nice.
and I've never done anything on film before. Like I've only been a podcaster, and
Yeah.
so it took I pulled my buddy from work. I'm like, hey, can you help me record this thing? Like I got to make something creepy and like whatever. And it took us just for 3 hours. Like, and we're both amateurs. We don't know what we're doing, right? But my
Right.
buddy's like very creative, like I am, but he's more technical. So in 3 hours we did a 1 minute dialogue thing, and I was like,
Nice.
Jesus Christ, like it's like you know a chunk of the day just to get like that one thing, and I'm like, but
Right.
it was so rewarding and worth it. I was like, this is fun, but it's exhausting at the same time.
Yeah. And I mean, that's how I've like continued to be able to work in the industry is like for every exhausting thing that you have to do, for every like we've been filming for 16 hours, there's just like so much joy
Yeah.
around it where it's like, I don't care that I've been doing this for the past 12 hours. I've enjoyed all of it, so I'll keep going.
Oh yeah. Now that I get that little taste, I'm like, I got to do something else.
Yes.
One day, you know. So I didn't have much to ask about Stranger Things, but so like oh, you know. beyond that, like what do you want to do next? Like what is the role that you kind of want to step into?
Um, I'm doing a lot of my own stuff right now, a lot of just like trying to be creative to enjoy being creative. So like writing short films for me and my friends and just filming them in my apartment. I'm working on producing this play about
Okay.
an angel and a demon trying to fight over a kid's soul. So that's been a lot of
Ooh,
fun.
that's cool.
And then like just in terms of the business and where I'd like to go, I mean, I'm a huge horror person. I would love to be able to work with like all of those incredible horror directors, Zach Krieger and James Wan, and just
Right.
continue to be able to be a part of these like spooky, scary, exciting, funny, dramatic, whatever it is. Just like being able to tell those creepy, exciting stories is
Yeah.
something I really love.
It's funny you mentioned the whole what do you call it, the angel and demon thing, because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
writing I started the concept of a it's about the point of view of death.
Okay.
So it's like it's kind of like his role, but like not in the way that we see it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's more like a game to him. So it's kind of evil, but it's like kind of not because it's like fair, you know? So like that's the thing I said that I don't want to give too much away because I don't want to be stealing it.
Oh,
But
totally. That's really cool though.
yeah, yeah, I'm writing a lot on the side, but I obviously haven't finished anything. It's just a lot of work and everything. It's just like takes up all my time. Um,
But it's all about just like working at it. I That's been
yeah,
the thing for me is just that like there have been so many times that I've stopped creating my own stuff and just waited for the work to come and then nothing has happened and then I start producing my own films and making
yeah,
my own things and all of a sudden everything starts happening and it's like, "Oh, okay. I just needed to feed the creative spirit and more was going to show up."
yeah, yeah. You kind of got to feed into the universe a little bit, right?
Exactly.
So, um, I saw on your account on your Instagram that you've been doing gaming recently.
Yeah, yeah.
So like gaming with your mom and some of your friends, and I want to talk a little bit about that because me and my co-host we like to game when we can.
Absolutely.
Not so much lately, but we definitely, there's been a couple of nights where I went on Twitch, and streamed a little bit.
Nice.
So how's that like? I think that's just starting for you, but like, how has that been so far?
It's been really incredible. I've wanted to do it for a while. I've like had these ideas for a really long time, but I've just been doing a thousand other
Yeah.
things. And so me and my friend Michael, who have been best friends since college, have both like wanted to stream. He did stream for a little bit, but had like taken a hiatus. And so
Hmm.
I was like, what if we just did this together? What if we like put our efforts together instead of doing two individual streams? If we just like created a channel where we could just have a bunch of different shows and do a bunch of different gaming content. And so we put together Game Crashers HQ and we've been doing a bunch of different things. Getting to play video games with my mom is really wonderful. Our show is called Hey Mom, Let's Play, and it's just like based around the idea of showing my mom how video game storytelling has evolved and how it's a lot more complicated than it used to be when she was
Yeah.
growing up and some of the like kind of more mainstream games where it's like, oh, you just shoot the enemy is like, yeah, but there's an entire different side of gaming that like has way more intricate storytelling and like can do some really fascinating things. And so I've been showing her a lot of that and then just playing competitive video games with my friends just because it's stuff that we were already doing in our day
Right.
to
Right.
day. And so to be able to like create entertainment out of it and just like share our joy with other people has been something that's been really exciting.
Yeah. I've been gravitating more towards like storytelling game than
Yeah,
than like more action based. I mean, obviously I do play the action stuff.
totally.
Like me and my co-host we're playing Dead Island 2.
Nice.
And that's we're only like maybe halfway into it, but we're having a blast on that. But I don't want to we both take a lot of time. So
Nice.
like, running this channel,
Right.
podcasting, like it just takes up so much time and then
Exactly.
work on top of that and stuff. But it's always a blast. Like what's been your favorite game recently?
Recently, so I've been playing with my mom this game called Season, A Letter to the Future, which has been
Okay.
like, it's a really beautiful indie game and like the storytelling is super intricate and it's caused a lot of conversation between us. But before
Hmm.
that, I was playing Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which is like brutal and horrifying and really, really heartfelt and like exciting at the same time. Like the gameplay is super fun. And so
Yeah.
like I was really loving that. And like getting to dig into that. And then Hades 2 just came out, and so I've been playing a little bit of that with my friends because I was a huge fan of Hades 1.
Mm.
I love Super Giant games, and so
Okay.
anytime something by them comes out, I'm like, let me buy this immediately.
Again, I've been out of the loop, so I haven't haven't been playing much.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Um, and then I heard a little, I heard I saw something that you're a wrestling fan.
Yes.
So I mean, I grew up with wrestling.
Same.
And I mean, kind of like off and on, like I can't watch it all the time,
Right.
especially like these days. I watch, what I can.
Right.
Um, but going from the from late '80s to to now. So like, and I saw that you're an AEW fan.
Yeah.
More, yeah. What was some of your like favorite things growing up though, like as far as wrestling goes?
I would have this tradition with my dad where we would get chicken wings every Friday and we'd watch Friday Night SmackDown together. So that was
Oh,
like,
sweet.
it was just like a bonding experience for the two of us. We were like massive Rey Mysterio and Batista fans and
Okay.
just getting to watch like the SmackDown 6 during kind of that period when it was like Edge and Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio and Batista. And it's just like,
Yeah.
I feel like I got really blessed by getting to watch some of the most incredible people who are now like so many of them moving into the acting world, like
Yeah.
to see John Cena and Batista like really taking on performing in a really fascinating way has been really awesome. And like, it's I feel like wrestling bore my like love of fight choreography and like my desire to make fights on screen a lot more fascinating. I feel like AEW in particular has really shown me how like that's possible, how it's
Yeah.
possible to like tell a really intricate story through fight choreography. And so that's really been the love more recently. I can't watch it as much as I used to, but to be able to just be inspired when I'm like working on an action script of just like, how can I make this more complicated? How can I make this different? How can I add a little flavor to this and tell this in a new way?
Yeah, I feel like wrestling is like the like one of the most like perfect choreography like
Yeah,
thing you could do because a lot of that's so realistic, and they do get hurt, and it's such a
right.
respectable like art, So yeah, I'm always, I'm always about it. I'm a huge fan. I even made a custom wrestling belt for work. So,
Oh,
like
nice.
I'm the champion at work. Yeah. So I'm always like teasing people, just like raise it in their face, and it's like, you want to go for this?
I got
Like,
the title.
yeah, I got the title. You can't beat me, stuff like that. Just talking
Yeah,
smack every day.
I love
Um,
that.
yeah. And then I mean I grew up more like in the '90s and like yeah, a little off and on 2000s, but like NWO was always like a thing for me, and
Nice.
early NWO, and then yeah, DX and all that stuff, all that
Yeah,
good
yeah.
stuff. Um and yeah, I saw that you were a fan, so I was like, I gotta talk to him about it.
Yes,
Did you watch what is it, Naked Gun, the new one?
I haven't. I
Okay, so
need to.
Batista makes an appearance on that too, and it
Nice.
was just so funny. I was like, he doesn't even need to be in this movie, but they put it, you know.
He's fantastic. Like him in particular has really like taken the route of like taking acting really seriously
Yeah.
coming from wrestling, and I just like I deeply respected that, and I've just been rooting for him since I started getting to see him in more dramatic roles. It's been really cool.
Yeah, he can go either way. He's funny, but he could also be very serious and
Exactly.
kick some ass and all that stuff. Um, and so from then on, let's jump into All You Need Is Blood.
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
Um like most of the things, I knew the casting director
Hmm.
from just auditioning for him over a few years, and he reached out to me with the part and the script, and I read it and put myself on tape for it to as like an audition. I filmed a couple scenes for them and I sent it back, and the director really liked me, and so he had me tape another scene and we sent it back, and then I sat down and I had a conversation with the director Cooper, and we just talked about our visions of the character and how we felt about
Okay.
the story and what we how we like to work. And by the end of that conversation I was like, are we making this together? And he was like, I would love to. We've got to get it approved by a couple other people, but I would love to do this with you. And
Hmm.
then we just went off to the races. We filmed for a month in New Jersey and
Okay.
had a really wonderful time.
I was wondering because like who was it? Your co-star is her name Mena? Mena? Mena?
Mina, yeah.
Mina. She had that accent and it cracked me up, and I was like,
Oh, it's so
just
perfect.
oh God. This cast was so stacked.
Yeah,
Like I was so shocked. I was like, man, you got everybody on this film like working, um and I was blown away by it. I mean, not only just like the comedy, but like the people that worked on it, and then and so on. So like, how many times did everybody on set break character when like Mina would just go off and like do her thing?
Oh, she was just like killing us. She showed up so ready to like be collaborative with everybody and just like was really excited to be there and be a part of it. And she brought so much experience with like American Pie and all the
Yeah,
comedies that she's done over the years. And so like she was just such a gift to have as a co-star, and just like to be able to get to know her as a person was a really wonderful experience. I felt really lucky that she came on and treated it like it was the most important project in the world to her. I know it's easy for people who have some success and some clout to step in and just be like, okay, well, I'm bigger than this and this
right.
is a paycheck to me. But she was the complete opposite. She was just like so ready to play, so ready to just like give her all to it and be really gung ho to just be a part of the process. And it just made everything so much better and such a really enjoyable process. I would work with her on any project ever. Like if she called me and was like, I need you for one day to say 3 words, I would be like, yes, tell me when and where, and I'm there. I adore her.
He's like, I need you to be the pizza boy. Come over,
Sure.
like over there.
Absolutely. I'm there.
Um, yeah. Again, Neil came off of well, some time ago being off of Mowgli is
And is
so.
so funny. Like, just like, he's such a physical comedian, and it's so enjoyable to get to watch him just be so good. He gave so much to me as a co-star without ever needing to say a word. It was
Mhm.
just he gave me all the energy that I needed to feed off of, and we just had so much fun every day just being friends and making this really cool film together.
I know. I was like, what I would do to be on set for like one day to see how you guys, because the chemistry just seems so unreal, you know, just so
Yeah.
fantastic. I
It
was
was
just
just
like,
such a bond. Like we were all really excited to be there. The core cast was all just like so wonderful. Everyone brought like a lot of humor and a lot of just kindness for each other, and so it was nice to have this experience of really enjoying all the people that you work with and having everyone have really good ideas and wanting to bring them to the table and being able to just kind of elevate everything that we were doing by being super collaborative.
and so like I was wondering like when you first read the script, were you just like, you know, starts off with a caveman, and you're just like, what the fuck am I?
I
You know?
I truly was like, what is this
Yeah,
movie? This is insane. I
yeah,
think like it took me some time to find everything that I loved about it. I think at first
mhm.
I was like, there's some camp here and like it's a little over the top. I'm not sure like how this works, but by the time I got to the ending, there's just like, without spoiling anything, the third act just goes completely
Oh yeah,
balls to the wall. And by the time we got there, I was like, I understand what this writer is doing and I get what we're doing and it works so well. I just like fell in love with just the idea of like rediscovering your joy of being an artist. And like it's
yeah.
something that's happened to me a lot over the years where like I've forgotten that I enjoy being an artist because I like it, and to rediscover that and be like, oh yeah, I like doing this because I like making movies with my friends. I like being able to like tell stories with people I care about and like fall in love with people as I'm working with them, and like all of these things that are so, I think, integral to my experience as an actor, that like to be able to live those out on camera was just such a joy.
Yeah, I've been like, ca- I guess maybe it's like becoming as I'm becoming older too,
Sure.
like falling more in love with more things, and then also like kind of changing the way I see things too, so like growing up, like I was very like one track minded of like horror films, like I only want to see this,
Right.
and now I'm just like, I'm like, I want to see more comedy. I want to see more, this and that. I'm like, I love all this stuff now kind of blended in together, but I wasn't like that like, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
we just, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I was the same way. I was originally very one track. Like I want to do drama. I want to be a dramatic actor, and or like I really like this as like the kinds of movies that I like. And just over the years falling in love with people who have a very specific vision and just want to tell stories in the way that they want to tell stories, even if I don't agree with it, being able to just
Mhm.
see that like someone had a really unique perspective, I think has become so much more interesting to me. And so
Yeah.
I like fall in love with those movies that are kind of unexpected and do things that I haven't seen before.
Like for example, more recently we rewatched Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
And like 20 years ago, I was like, this movie sucks. Like I just didn't, I didn't grasp the concepts like the way that they were writing it out and
Right.
everything. But now I was like, we rewatched it, to get like well separately but together, and we were just like, man, this movie was like so good. Like it was so funny and
Yeah.
it was so like, all these ideas and like the dimension of like the movie itself and like how they graced everything together. And I was like, man, this one's like so good. I don't know what I was thinking like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Um,
and like so many of those movies with just like the amount of world building that happens, like how
yeah.
deep they can go into the lore. I've always found that like so fascinating and I just love being able to explore all of that. And so I totally agree. I think that movie's so good.
Where I was telling my buddy, I was like, they need to make a TV show out of this. Like,
Yes.
there's so much they can work with. It's just crazy how they don't.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's been brought up, but um, funny thing is, and the Tim that played your dad. Um, so we had interviewed an actress recently, and she did Criminal Minds at some point. And I saw that he was on there too, and I was like, did they work on set together? I was like, I'm kind of curious, but I was like, that's a question I would have to ask one of them at some point. But it was just interesting how like all these kind of things like come together, where it's
Yeah.
like you worked with him and he's worked with her, or potentially worked with her and everything. So
It's the like small world of the industry that it's just like
yeah,
as you continue to work, you just like, oh, I worked with this person and he worked with her, and so me and her are now gonna work together. And I feel like especially when you get to a certain point, there just becomes a like people know who they trust and who they've worked with enough that it's like I
yeah.
know if I bring this person in, they're gonna be great, and so I can recommend them to other people that I trust. And just being able to connect in that way and find people that you like making art with, I've found has just become the process. Is like good people just end up working with other good people.
How was it? Yeah, how was it working with Eddie Griffin? Because I know he like showed up for towards the third act. So
He wasn't on there for very long. It was nice to be able to, I think, see him get back into that acting place, get to see him kind of take on a character like that was really fun.
mhm.
I don't feel like I got to work with him as much as I got to work with everyone else, so it was such a
Right,
quick experience. But like to be able to have him on there and to be able to see him get back to like doing these really funny comedic, like he takes that monologue to such a new place that we never could have expected. And
yeah.
so I think that was just a really fun time to see that character kind of come to life and to see him do some interesting things that we didn't expect with it and to take that kind of side tangent storyline off in such a unique direction. I think that was really cool.
Yeah, that was funny because like, all you guys are just kind of like in this kind of comedic role, right? Like you're kind
Right.
of trying to figure stuff out. And then he comes in and he's like all serious. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm just your dad, what's your dad, kind of thing. And I was like, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean like it's a total left turn. It's a total
Yeah.
like oh, and now we have this new like antagonist that's shown up and I think it's such a cool the that section that Cooper wrote for that part of the movie is just so interesting and unique, and I think it just really sets everything up for the third, the like craziness of the
Right.
ending. Like it really just works so well.
And yeah, one thing that kind of cracked it started the film when you guys find the theaters, you're like, don't touch the meter, it might have space aids. I was like,
I was like, oh, I know what kind of movie we're watching. Got it.
yeah. You just like these are like that's the kind of the jokes that I put in a lot of stuff that I write.
Sure.
Maybe not like in those words, but like I always inject something, where it's
Yeah.
like a little one off kind of thing, where it's like, oh, it's not as serious as you think it is.
Right.
Um, so were you able to attend any of the awards that that was presented or that won for this film?
I wasn't able to go to the festivals to see it,
Mm,
unfortunately, but I mean, just like every time I read a letterbox review or like I see someone post something about it or share a like TikTok review, it's just been really nice, even when people don't like it. It's like just to hear that
yeah,
people are watching, just to hear that like it's resonating. I feel like the curse for every artist is like mediocrity is like, oh, like it's not great, but it's not bad. It's like it's fine. And so to have people be like, this is the worst thing ever, or to have people be like, I love this, is like, that's where I want to be. If you hate it, I totally understand. It's out there, it's wild, it's weird, it's not for everybody.
Yeah,
I love it. And so like as long as it makes you feel enough to be like, I have to say something about this. I'm like, we did our job and I
yeah.
am so happy with that.
You're talking about it. That's where that's where we want
Exactly.
it. So, um, I wanted to know. So wrapping up with the all you need is blood. I know it's kind of a short thing, but I saw on IMDb that you're doing well, you're working on a film called or project called Circle of Threes.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
So it's a horror vampire movie that I wrote with
Mm,
my dad a couple years ago. It's about a sheriff in a small town who has to try and stop a vampire who has come back to haunt the town. It's very much in the tradition of like Salem's Lot and like the old school 80s vampire movies that he grew
okay.
up with, that like he really tried to introduce me to and have me fall in love with, and just like our love of horror and kind of the excitement of that genre. I'm excited to hopefully do it at some point. It's one of those projects that's like, if it happens, it'll be wonderful. But if it just stays in the like we created it and wrote a screenplay world, then like that's okay too. I love the story that we told, and the way that it's kind of been branching off into this like exciting process. And so like hopefully we're able to make it. I would love to get to make
Yeah,
it, but like
I would love to see it. Yeah.
yeah, hey,
Have
the more people talk about it, the more word
it
of
could
mouth
happen.
gets around. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to ask you because I saw that he was, well, I wasn't sure that was your father in the first place that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
credited to the writing. Have you guys done stuff like together like before that or?
A little bit. We've like he's directed shorts that I've written, and I've been in a couple things that he's done, but this would be like the first major thing that we'd ever gotten to do together. We've talked about doing bigger projects together, but this was
Mhm.
kind of the first like, okay, let's do something big. Let's like come up with a big, exciting, like let's see what we can do. And so it would be a real full circle thing to like have been introduced to acting through him. Like he used to do this play called A Vampire's Tale, which was like about a vampire, and I
Okay.
saw that play so many times when I grew
Yeah.
up just as like his son. And so to be able to come full circle and do a vampire movie with him would just be such a fun, incredible thing.
Yeah. Um, I'm blanking on it's a freaking classic in the 80s. For some reason I'm blanking on the title right now, but they filmed it in Santa Cruz. And well, which is like in California,
Yeah, yeah.
on the coastline. Um, and so when I was living there for like 5 years, there's a bridge. It had Kiefer Sutherland in it. I can't think for some
Lost
reason.
Boys.
Lost Boys, yeah, yeah. I was like, I don't know why I'm blanking on this freaking like classic movie. But yeah, so they when they filmed on there, supposedly there's a bridge, right by the boardwalk,
Yeah, yeah.
to where they've closed it down since, but there's a walkway like past it, but then you can also me and my buddy were drunk one night and we were stupid. So we walk across the bridge, right? And she had like almost fallen through because the boards were like old and
Right.
separated and everything. I had to like pick her up and like pull her back up. And she like banged her shin on one of the wood planks, like hella hard. And she was like limping the rest of the way. I was like, "Are you okay?" And there's people like walking by us, like on the sidewalk. They were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Kind
Why
of
are you
thing.
on the
And
bridge?
and we Scooby Doo in a class, and like,
Nice.
um, yeah, and like, but she supposedly she still has like some nerve damage from it.
Ooh.
Like she fell hard, but like one leg through, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna grab her, like, you okay? And that scared the shit out of me. Do you have anything else like lined up in the future, happening?
I'm mostly just my own stuff right now. I'm working on a short film with a couple of my friends about the 15-minute break during a Dungeons and Dragons session. So that's just
Okay,
like a fun comedy, drama, character thing that we're doing.
yeah.
I'm working on this play, and then just kind of creating anything that I can, trying to make art with my friends and see what happens until I get cast in the next thing and fly off to wherever I go.
What's been some of your favorite places that you've been on set for?
I got to go to Edmonton, Canada, which was really
Mm,
gorgeous. I was there for a week doing an Apple commercial when I was in high school.
Awesome.
And then when I did Stranger Things and got to be in Atlanta, it was just really amazing to be able to explore the city for a little bit, to like get a taste of the food and the culture and just like to be in a new place. I really enjoyed that. And then I
Yeah.
did a play in Colorado Springs, which
Mm.
was just incredible. I love the mountains, and so to be able to just be there and be a part of nature was just everything.
I was thinking of like one day if I ever have money to buy a house in Colorado, because
Yes.
I love how it's seasonal, you know.
Yeah. And it's gorgeous
Um,
out there. It's just like the nature is so beautiful and inspiring and exciting, and just like it was everything that I wanted while I was there.
and I would love to visit Atlanta someday because I know they have a lot of conventions out there too and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have a lot of filming and stuff. Where's the place that you would love to go visit?
I would love to go back to Europe. I'd love to. I was in London for a little bit when I was in high school,
Mm,
but I haven't been there in forever, and so I'd love to be able to just like go back. I have some friends in Germany who are trying to get me to go over there, and so that's been a long planning trip. And then
yeah.
oh, I'd like to go back to Mexico. I was there over a summer when I was in college still, and just like to be able to go back as an adult and just
Mm,
explore and see just other parts of the world is just like something that I really love.
I haven't been anywhere. My
Worth
my buddy,
trying. You
I
can.
know. My co-host always teases me about it because like he's been to Japan and that's Japan's my number one
Oh,
place. Like I
nice.
want to go there so bad.
Yeah,
He lived in New York for a little time, and I was like, you want to go to New York? What the hell? You know, yeah. So there's always and I got friends in Norway too. I want to go check out Norway because I got some
nice.
friends out there, and I would die to go see them. But yeah, that's pretty much my spots.
That's awesome. I mean, yeah, I think that like the more travel that is possible, the better. But I've been in the boat of like, how do I get money to travel? That is always the
Yeah.
question.
Oh yeah. Um, I work full time, dude,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
still don't, you know, and this channel hasn't paid off yet. So I'm like,
And I feel like that's the creative struggle constantly. Is like I
yeah.
want the creative thing to happen, and we're gonna keep grinding at it.
Oh yeah, and obviously the passion is not for the money, but it's just like,
Exactly.
I get to meet you, I get to meet like so many other people that like have worked on all these different films, and it's been incredible, honestly. Like
Awesome.
I've met so many cool people, like you including. Um,
Thank you.
and man, we would love to like to game with you at some point.
Yeah.
That would be so fun. Because again, we love games, and we would love to do something. But
Do a little Twitch collab. Absolutely.
yeah, I would be so down for that. Maybe one day.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, that's all I have for you today. But I really appreciate you joining. I know it's a little short, but
Hey,
um,
thanks for having me. This was really wonderful.
uh, I wish obviously I wish you the best. I'm sure you're gonna be killing it. Anything you do in the future. Um, and we will maybe talk to you again next time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll look forward to the next project coming back on and getting to talk about it.
Oh, we'll watch it. I'll
Amazing.
for sure watch it. Well, before I even cut out, I don't know why I didn't do this. I'm gonna plug in my stuff real quick.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
the channel is Beyond the underscore Ether on Instagram or Beyond the Ether podcast on YouTube. Um, my personal account on Instagram is Kylie underscore DTO. And if you want anything to email about how much you hate me, my face, this pretty face of mine, BooCrew2025 at Gmail. And if you feel like plugging anything, Logan, please do.
Come check us out on Twitch, Game Crashers HQ. Keep an eye on my YouTube, my Instagram at Logan Riley Bruner. Um, Continuing to create and excited to share art with more people.
Oh yeah. So all about it. Again, we will see you guys in a week or so. You know how this thing runs. So goodbye, good night, good day, good morning, whatever it is.
Have a great one, you guys.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.